This episode of Destructoid is brought to you by Busted Tees.
Coming up on Destructoid, Dragon Age 2 is full of blowjays and same-sex kissing, Ass Creed Bro wins a WGA award, Angry Birds is coming to the Wii and the 3DS, and Bulletstorm makes fun of other video games. All this and more coming up on Destructoid.
Welcome everyone to Destructoid. I'm Tara Long.
And I'm Max Scoville. How was your weekend, Tara?
No one cares about the Super Bowl!
But
we have heard enough of it. We are sick of it. We're done with the sports.
did you just get your period this weekend,
No,
Max?
I'm menstruating and I got the HEMS. And speaking of testosterone and blood explosions, Nick Chester's got some releases of the week for us.
What do Mario, Waluigi, and Bowser do when not trolling one another? They play volleyball, hockey, dodgeball, and basketball in Mario Sports Mix, out this week for the Wii. Eden Games Open World Racer Test Drive Unlimited 2 is also out this week, letting you race around Ibiza and Hawaii in fancy cars with a total disregard for laws or pedestrians. The quiz game with a slightly insulting title is back. You Don't Know Jack, along with host Cookie Masterson, brings its brand of irreverent trivia to Xbox 360, PS3, Wii, DS, and PC this Tuesday. And for folks looking to hone their gum-chewing, walking, and doing math at the same time skills, Namco Bandai's Kinect title Brain and Body Connection is probably just what you're looking for. Be sure to check out Destructoid every Monday, where the always responsible and always sober Hamza Aziz brings you a full list of the week's releases.
Hello? Because I've been drinking.
Thank you, Mr. Chester. And now, on to the news. PC gamers who were pissed at the lack of a Bulletstorm demo, cheer up, the guys over at Epic Games just made a game to promote a game. Duty Calls, The Calm Before the Storm is now available for free download, and it's a parody of Call of Duty, and it calls out Call of Duty for being Call of Duty. You can hop over to thedutycalls.com right now and get it yourself, or watch a number of videos that are floating around the webs. It's not really quite a Bulletstorm demo, is it? But it's pretty creative, bit of advertising on Epic's part. And hey, speaking of advertising, what the hell is wrong with you, Sony? The PlayStation phone or the Xperia Play or the elephant in the room of mobile gaming, it's finally being addressed. Sort of. On the Sony Ericsson's Facebook page, they put up an announcement of the date they're giving an announcement. That doesn't make sense. They're not building excitement, they're just procrastinating. We've seen the PlayStation phone, we know it exists. Spit it out already. Meanwhile, this ad surfaced, and it does not make me want to buy an Xperia Play. It makes me uncomfortable because they made a thing with they grafted human thumbs onto the Android mascot because you don't need thumbs to use a regular phone. This is like the weirdest thing Sony's made for an ad since those PS2 commercials directed by David Lynch.
It's all kind of weird.
But yeah, PlayStation phone is old news. I want to hear more about the NGP. Sony, stop being mysterious. It's not working.
Yeah. Tough day for news, man.
Jeez, I wish there was some Angry Birds news.
Yeah. Oh, hey, look at that. Angry Birds is expanding its horizon to non-mobile devices. I can't really imagine how a game like this is possibly fun for more than 5 minutes on a non-mobile device, but I guess if you really like Angry Birds and you really own a Wii, just own a Wii, actually, and you hopefully have small children living at home who are easily entertained, then you're in luck. Because Rovio Games, the game's developer, confirmed via Twitter that not only are they developing an Angry Birds game for release on WiiWare and 3DSware later in the year, they're also bringing all 3 Angry Birds games to the 3DS. Also, I would like to point out that Max begged me not to do this story, but I did it anyway because A, some of you out there like Angry Birds, even if you're not man or woman enough to admit it, you like it, and B, that's just how I roll.
There were a lot of important stories besides Angry Birds we could have covered. There's a whole video about the new Dead Space 2 DLC, and there's...
Hey, look, Max, you make some interesting points, okay? But you're forgetting the crucial fact that that's just how T-Bird rolls.
I swear to God, if you don't stop using that nickname.
Okay, not now, Max, because T-Bird would like to talk about censorship for a second. Tim Schafer, a game designer who's worked on such titles as Psychonauts, Costume Quest, and Brütal Legend, was quoted recently as saying, "There are a lot of funny people in the games industry, and they seem to think of the funny thing and then say, no, I can't do that. Let's cut that out because someone might be bothered by that. I think if people censored themselves less, there'd be a lot more funny stuff out there." So this is actually a topic that Max and I have discussed for a bit during our live show a few weeks ago, how we wish there were more funny games out there like Portal, because honestly, I think a big part of the reason I can't take games like Gears of War seriously is because they take themselves too seriously. And I'm sure that you agree with me on this one, Max. We've talked about this over and over again. If they added more elements of humor to the game, maybe I'd be more amenable to playing them.
Tim Schafer's a good guy. He's always been putting like comedy in his games. He did the old Monkey Island games, and Brütal Legend was the first game with Manowar on the soundtrack. But yeah, it's I feel like there really isn't enough humor in games. Rockstar does it with the GTA titles, and but it's all kind of tucked away in the back. You know, it's not like in-your-face comedy. Whereas something like Bulletstorm is kind of pushing itself as being a wacky, funny parody of Call of Duty.
It's getting there. It's not quite there though. You know?
I think that was a game that was like, it had room to be kind of have some satire thrown on top of it, but I don't think that started out as like, let's make a hilarious game about kicking people in the face. I'd like to see more funny games, you know.
Yeah, actually Tim Schafer they're releasing a game tomorrow, his company Double Fine. Stacking, it's a puzzle adventure game and it's coming out tomorrow for PS3 and then for Xbox 360 on Wednesday, so.
Cool.
Yeah, look for that. Maybe it'll be fun.
Fun fact, Tim Schafer went to my high school.
Really?
And he spoke at my graduation.
Can I touch you? Are you famous
I'm pretty
now?
famous because of this. That's Sonoma
You know
Valley
a guy
High
who
School.
knows a guy, so.
Let's take this wonderful moment to talk about Busted Tees.
Yes.
The excellent dudes over at College Humor set up the site as a depot for funny shorts back in 2004, and since then they've been putting out some of the most awesome designs you're going to find on the internet. Whether you're into video games, movies, geography, politics, science fiction, or just wrapping your torso with something really weird, Busted Tees literally has you covered. They're the coolest items of clothing since windbreakers were invented. I love windbreakers. You might have seen a busted tee or two pop up in movies like Knocked Up or shows like Scrubs, and now you can grab one to have for your very own forever and ever. And they're printed on good old-fashioned American high-quality super soft materials in a sweatshop-free environment, so you won't be plagued with guilt, which is, usually a plus when buying things. So head on over to bustedtees.com right now. We'll finish the video. And then head over to bustedtees.com and start scrolling and get ready to find the shirt of your dreams, your bizarre, hilarious dreams. And enter the promo code Destructoid for 10% off your order.
That's a busted tee, isn't it, Sarah?
This is a busted tee.
Well,
I've worn it on the show before,
They
actually.
do always have cute girls modeling their clothes.
Oh, you really are some kind of Roman god of pathetic embarrassment, are you?
You want to talk about blowjobs?
I would love to talk about
Okay,
blowjobs.
so the Entertainment Software Review Board, the ESRB, has released its scathing review of Dragon Age 2, and apparently, in addition to blood and guts, sex scenes. Woo! And one of them, a lady kneels down in front of a gentleman, and oh my goodness, the screen fades to black. They're having the mouth sex. This is implied fellatio, as it says in the report. So you can also have same-sex couples if you're into that, and they kiss each other. And I gotta say, BJs and girls making out, I remember when the hottest thing in video games was the ending to Super Metroid, if you were good enough at it. And while we're still on the topic of Dragon Age, before Hatera has a chance to make fun of me for wanting to bang Samus since I was 8 years old, there is a demo of Dragon Age 2 coming your way on February 22nd. And you probably already know this because it's the internet information gets leaked, but it's official now. The demo lets you pick one of 3 classes, and you can play through the prologue and meet some broad named Isabella and get a thing called a Hater's Razor, which is probably a weapon and
Awesome.
stuff.
So that sounds great, Max, actually, but not nearly as great as the news that I heard this morning, just this morning, that Assassin's Creed put up on their Facebook page. Ubisoft wrote on the page, as we approach this major milestone for the Assassin's Creed comment, we wanted to make sure we do something extra special for reaching 1 million fans on our Facebook page. So if they reach 1 million fans, which by the way is kind of crazy, they have 963,000 as of this morning, that blows my mind. They're gonna be giving away some free DLC. Specifically the Venezia by Night map for multiplayer mode, a thank you video featuring some of the game's developers, and a 24-hour 15% discount off of anything from the UB Workshop. They're also going to be creating a special t-shirt to commemorate the event. And I could be wrong here, but something tells me that those t-shirts are sitting in a warehouse somewhere right now ready to ship out, because word spreads pretty quickly on Facebook. I bet you within the end of the week, it's done.
Well, that's cool. I want t-shirts, all of them.
How many Facebook fans do we have?
Destructoid has
I have more fans in my Facebook fan club than you do.
That's true, actually, which is quite insulting.
I have approximately
hint.
80-something.
80-something? Oh, I think I might have 80-something now. I'm trailing close behind. I'm sure of it.
So if you go on Facebook and search the Tara Long Appreciation Club or the Max Scoville Fan Club,
you'll find our smiling faces. I actually made Max Scoville's fan club. I'm his #1 fan. I don't know if you guys know that.
I actually haven't joined hers.
That's not true. You joined mine before I created yours, you bastard. Okay, talk about voicemails for a second. I'm getting angry
now. We have
now.
voicemails. On Friday, we asked you to call up, and speaking of Facebook meanness, we call up and ask you to leave messages saying what your meanest comment you've ever left online was. So you want to listen to some of those? We should do that.
We'll do that,
Zachary?
yes.
Okay. Our producer says we can do that. Also, Wednesday is our 50th episode. What should we do? That's a big deal. 50 episodes.
I want cake. Just putting that out there. I want cake.
You said that about today's episode.
I love cake.
Okay. The cake is alive. Good night, folks.
I love it.
This is Justin from Albany, and the worst comment I ever made on the internet was that Battlefield Earth was a great movie. If anything, I very much regret ever saying that, and I think that was possibly the worst thing I could have ever put on the internet. And if anything, I'm very quite ashamed of it. Thank you for your time.
What's the most vile comment I've ever left on the internet? Let me think. I don't think there is one. Probably because I'm not a dick. Bye.
Hey, Destructoid Show. This is Ron Taylor from Los Angeles, California. The worst comment I ever left online is meh. Like MEH, meh. Yeah, that's the worst comment I ever left online. It's probably the worst comment anyone could ever leave online, but it's what I got. Meh. So that's what I say, meh. Meh to this call, by the way. Just meh. Bye.